everyone, welcome back to For Teachers. We've been teaching for the past couple of weeks now and we haven't really chatted about our new classes and the new school year.
So we're going to kick off. I'm going to say, well, first of all, how long have you been back to school?
I think we've been back about 4 weeks now.
Yeah, so in Hong Kong we kind of start back in October?
I don't know.
August. We kind of start in August.
Yeah.
So it might be different around the world. I think like we've just slowly seen like America go back to school and then we've seen UK schools open again.
I think the dates are different. Hong Kong definitely starts back a little bit earlier than the UK. We are probably a couple of weeks ahead of the people that are watching this now. So I suppose we'll know our classes a little bit more than other people.
Yeah, I feel like actually I think I'm in my 6th week.
Give me a 6th week.
Yeah. How are your new class? What year are you in?
I've got year 3 this year, same as last year, and the class are completely different to the class I had last year. Last year I had a whole like warming up stage with the children. I feel like they were really quiet for ages, but these guys have set off, like they're really lively from the start. So I've got all these like, nothing wrong, like they're not being disruptive.
Yeah.
But they're quite loud with their answers and they're quite loud with their ideas. But they're amazing, I really like them a lot. What year group have you got this year?
So I'm moving into year 5 this year. So I used to be in year 3 for the last 2 years. Now I'm in year 5, which is really good. So we're having a fresh start with our curriculum. Everything's from scratch and I get to plan science and theme and computing. So I'm really excited. Yeah, we've got some really awesome stuff. Our theme for our first week, first half term, sorry, we've been doing We Are Superheroes.
Oh, cute.
So it's so cute and it's just Marvel, DC, lots of superhero stuff, which I love.
Do you find that your class seem a lot older than the year 3s? Or?
No, not at all really. They seem just the same. They're still into the same kind of cartoons and Pokemon that I'm into and my year 3s are into as well. My library area is called Teen Titans Go to the Library.
Oh,
cute.
It's such a casual trip for them. And they're getting into the whole like superhero flow of things.
Yeah, I think as well, like it's really nice that, so we do a lot of STEAM projects in my school. So STEAM at our school stands for science, tech, engineering. We also include the arts and maths. Often theme in the UK is kind of really geography or history based. It's like you do it in Greeks or the Romans or something like that, the Egyptians. Yeah, whereas I feel like these kind of aspects get left out. So it's really nice in our school. So we're like looking at the more the mechanics of superhero tech. We're looking at like how biology inspires like animal adaptations when you become a superhero based like on Black Panther or Spider-Man, then you take on those qualities of the animal. So it ties into our science really well. So yeah, we've just been super busy, but actually for our English project we're looking at poetry. And poetry is normally something you just do for like a 2-day block.
Yeah, and I feel like you throw it into like Christmas or you throw it into like autumn and
yeah, let's do winter poetry or Christmas poetry. So for us, we've done it for, well, we'll have done it for about 8 weeks, which is just crazy.
That's a long time to do poetry.
So we're building up to a huge performance like in 2 weeks' time. So Katie, you've taken on a new role this year.
This year I've taken on the role of year group lead and also English language lead. So it's been kind of a double whammy. So I've been working on the language curriculum at the school, helping to sort of build the writing assessment at the moment, which sounds really boring, but it's actually quite interesting. I'm enjoying like finding out what other teachers do and trying to build something that suits the school quite well. I don't know. I mean, it's fun if you like leadership and things like that, but I suppose maybe new teachers might be a bit like, oh no, I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah, I think you often get given a role, even if you are a brand new NQT, you tend to get given roles in the UK, definitely, but it tends to be something smaller. And I think, not that it's less work necessarily, but you might be given like RE head or PSHE head, whereas I think to get an English head is like a big step up. It's quite a lot more work, obviously. We teach in English 5 times a week, and everyone's teaching the same.
And also you have to know quite a lot, so you have to know like sort of from the EYFS, like phonics side of things, all the way up to like your year 6 writing. Obviously most of what I know is based in year 3, year 4, year 5, so I'm having to sort of learn a lot more about like the younger year groups, how they start the writing process, how they start the reading process, and you know, all the way up to like year 6 and beyond. Yeah, it's a big role, it's taken up a lot of time. But I
was going to ask that, so maybe for those people watching who want a role like that in the future, like does it take up way more time? Does it take you out of the class, or? I
guess it depends on what school you're at. I think the school that I'm at right now, I have like a good balance where I do have time to focus on the role. I suppose if you're somewhere, if you're a new NQT and maybe for your 2nd year of teaching you've been offered like a TLR already, maybe have a think about it, because it is a lot of extra work, but it's really good to have. It's really good experience as well. So, but watch this space. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. I'm going to talk about the role that I've taken on and, you know, what I'm learning from it. I'll probably do like a video update in a couple of weeks on that one.
Yay. And so are you in the same classroom as last year?
Nope, I've got a brand new classroom. I am actually putting a video up shortly, so I think there should be a few shots of that already on the internet somewhere. I will share that now. But I'm really enjoying my new classroom. It's much brighter. It's like a corner classroom, so I've got these lovely big windows, and it just feels like, I don't know, really like fresh and new, because you've moved to a new room as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel nicer?
I don't like my new room.
No.
I like how I've decorated it, but Hong Kong generally is very small.
Yeah,
so
the rooms are smaller.
Classrooms are very small. Class sizes generally might be a bit smaller too, if you're lucky. But yeah, space is always at a premium for like apartments and classrooms.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine's kind of, I've moved from like a nice corner classroom to a smaller classroom. But it feels smaller. I've got the layout the same, but it feels a bit more cramped.
Yeah. Maybe it's just going to take a couple of weeks for it to start to feel like your little classroom home. I don't know.
Yeah, I've made it really nice. Got 2 days at the start of the year, and I've papered all the walls white, so it's really calming and chill. And I've got lots of plants, lots of cartoon characters around as well. It's just really nice.
I haven't had time to go visit Ryan's new room yet, but maybe I'll pop in at some point and have a little look.
Yeah, because my last room, Katie just had training at my school, so you had a few days where you got to come to our school. That's really nice. And I've never been to Katie's school, so she always describes it, or I see it on the internet just like you guys, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know it would look like this.
Yeah.
I think your room looks big on camera.
To be fair, I feel like because the students in my room are quite small, my room feels quite big.
Yeah.
They're only little. I feel like last year they were big. I don't know. I feel like each cohort that you get just feels different.
I think, yeah, I guess when you have them at the end of the year, they're year fours really, so they've already aged like
they grow
year,
into the room.
and then you forget like, oh, they're so tiny when they start. Yeah.
They do feel really, really young, and I just forget like they were year 2 not long ago, and like that's actually quite young, especially when in the UK I used to teach year 5, and I always forget like they're so much older, and I don't know, it's just taking me a minute to kind of adjust to this new classroom and this new set of children. Like they fit right in the room, but they're so tiny at the desks, like they're just like, oh, you're so mini. Last year I feel like the girls in my class were really quiet at the start, and it took them quite a while to sort of warm up and start to share like louder ideas because the boys were so loud. Whereas this year I think it's different. I think the girls in my room have come to me and they're really headstrong, and they really know, like they've got opinions and they're sharing them, and they're almost louder than the boys. And I know that it's interesting to look at like your dynamics in the classroom. I would say this year it's definitely like a girl strong classroom, but we'll see how they all shape up, because they're all friends, like the boys are friends with the girls, and there's no like separation in the room, but it's really nice. I can't wait to see like how they change.
Do you feel like you're busy this year? Like, because at the start of the year you always feel like I'm snowed under, there's so much to do.
Yeah, I feel busy. Do you feel busy?
Yeah, I do. So like I think because we're starting from scratch with everything, obviously there was maths and English planning from last year, but we're just going like, no, it's all different, so we're all just starting from scratch. Yeah, which is so exciting. Yeah, clean slate, it's like fresh start, let's get creative. But I think when you're new to a school, you can often feel like, wow, there's just so much going on, and I wish this was in place, and I wish this was in place. Because I think when you do your placements on your PGC or your BEd, you kind of go into a school and you just step into like, oh, the guided reads all set up.
Yeah, there's
and
already
the spellings
something.
are already set up.
Some schools probably need to do that now and again, don't they? They need to just have like a clean slate, like stop using the planning that we've had in place for 5 years, let's like refresh. But I bet that feels like quite a lot of work when you have to do it.
Yeah, because when you think like the English department, it could be like, oh, we want to read, for instance, we just chose Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe for next half term to lead up to Christmas. And then it's like, oh, great idea, it fits into our themes and things, but then you have to think, have all the other year groups use that book? Is anyone else planning to use it? Does it really fit in? Will it fit into our writing? And when you start looking into it, it's like, luckily for us it did, but there's a good chance that someone else is like, oh, I've already earmarked that book for year 6.
Yeah, I'm starting to find now that I've been teaching for 5-6 years, I can't think, 6 years, I'm in my 6th year of teaching, I'm finding that people suggest an idea for a unit and straight away I'm like, oh, I've done something on that already. When people ask about work-life balance in teaching and like, does it get easier, I feel like it'll always be hard, but there are points where people suggest something and you have this like knowledge, like, oh yeah, I've done something like that. Someone suggested doing a unit on trade and money and like trade around the world, and I was like straight away like, oh, I did a unit on fair trade, I've already done some work on like chocolate and Aztecs and like conversion of cocoa beans as finance. It's like I was sort of already knowledgeable about that. So I do feel like any teachers asking like, does it get easier, not like particularly, but in a way Yeah, because you can reuse things. I don't know, for superheroes, like, have we all done a little bit of superheroes in the past?
Yeah, there's always something you can bring in.
Yeah.
Mine's really exciting. So we did, for Marvel, we looked at like the map of New York on the grid, because it's all the grid map.
Okay.
And we pinpointed all the real life locations where they would actually be, like on a Google map.
Oh, I didn't even think like they all have their own little like location.
Yeah, and we did like a timeline of like debut and when they premiered, like when the first characters arrived, and that was good because you could kind of see that DC was like a good 10 years before Marvel took off, and it's just exciting for the kids. So I'm thinking like science, moving up a year group, we're doing science again that they've kind of already touched on in year 3, so it is nice because moving year groups you get to see how the curriculum does build. And there is some repetition, but then you also think you're building on to that next step. So for me, it's kind of like, remember when you labelled a plant 2 years ago? Well, now we're going to do asexual reproduction in plants.
I think Ryan has, let me just check,
the
class that you're teaching now, it's not the same children, but it's the same year group that you had 2 years ago?
Yeah, so my old class are now next door and they come and see me every day. They're so funny. They're a really good bunch. And these lot, I didn't really know them too well. There's always a lot of transition in Hong Kong anyway, in international schools, so that kind of the class they were 2 years ago will be very different to who they are now. Yeah, it's just really exciting that I kind of knew what they were doing. So I can say things like, oh, you did this in history, and they look at me blankly. I was like, I know you did it in history. I planned it for you.
Do you have any goals for the year? What are you planning on, like, what's your long-term goal?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just getting the planning sorted for me, because I feel like I'm happy to put in all that work and do all the planning, but also I kind of think once that's in place next year, I kind of want to stay in the same year group and take the benefit of having all that really well planned out stuff.
Yeah. So you're putting a lot of effort in now in the hope of reusing those plans next year?
Yeah, a little bit, and I think because you kind of, in Hong Kong, we signed 2-year contracts, so it's kind of, in my head, maybe we'll have to see what happens after those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about you? What's your goals for the year?
I think I'm probably running the Christmas show again.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I love doing the Christmas show. It's a lot of effort, it's a lot of energy, and I know that I'll enjoy it while I'm doing it. Well, no, I think I'll probably enjoy it on the show night.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of effort and a lot of energy, but last year I did the Christmas show with my partner teacher at the time, and we had a really good time doing it, so I don't know, like, it's a lot of energy, but I'm gonna do it.
It is insane that we start thinking about Christmas shows in September.
We've already looked at the script for it.
Yeah.
I already am starting to look at the children in year 3 and start to size up like the strong like speakers, like who might want to take on a lead role. Like, I'm already thinking about Christmas, and it's only just the start of autumn.
I think for us, we're just wrapping up our first half term really. We've got Mid-Autumn Festival. We had typhoon days where we couldn't go in, but there's a lot of damage in Hong Kong. And then there's just so much coming up that by the time you know it, it's going to be Christmas.
We're going to try and work on some sort of themed videos for you guys. Maybe we're going to work on some sort of Halloween and Christmas, and
that'd be so cute.
Yeah, maybe we can dress up. Okay, well, we'll wrap up our little catch up now. We're going to work on some more project stuff today. If you're not subscribed to 4Teachers, please hit the subscribe button. It's on the screen right now. Leave us a comment, let us know if you've enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Bye.